This poor car, poor Cyrus, the world's worst Corvette with the world's worst diesel engine. It's gotta get revived on. But not in this episode. This episode, we're showing you how it got to this point. It has a turbo, and it does do things. And it's a death trap. So here, we'll catch up to speed on how it got to this point. Next episode, it's in the streets better than ever. Won't you join me?
It's teaching because it's overfueled.
Dun dun dun! Returns again. Well, fellas, we're back on Cyrus today. And before we go turbo, we thought we'd make it at least 20% better. We're going to try to make it so NA will do a burnout again. We're going to fix on the injection pump, take that rate out, fix on the Advance. And then we're going to give it front brakes, at least 50% more front brakes. And then hopefully disable the rear brakes so they ain't working because those are the only thing stopping it.
You have no idea how stupid you are, do you?
Actually, yes, I do.
Try to get this thing to do burnouts. We're gonna run a new brake hose, you know, one that's not pinched off like that. The Jew over here's doing his first caliper rebuild. Yummy.
This is how you do it, right?
It was about 2 or 3 weeks after we shot this footage back in 2023. I remember distinctly seeing Dalton on Completetoiletgarage rebuild one of these calipers. And as you can see, he takes these 2 simple bolts out. But we're idiots. 100%.
Oh, I missed.
It was beautiful. It was $100 or $120 for a new, remanufactured caliper, or it's $10 for the seal kit. And tell which one we went with.
Yeesh.
That is yummy. This probably goes back to the whole, the rust in the master.
Yeah.
Got to figure out the brakes because I took off the cap and ooh, yeah, it'll be all right.
Whatever words you're thinking of.
I don't know what to do with my brain. Here you go. Emery cloth will be your friend. The other thing on the docket is, tie rod end that's, can't do this with GoPro, but yeah, tie rod end that's falling out. So yeah, that's the story. Fix some brakes, fix the tie rod on, and then I'm going to fix on the injection pump and hopefully give this thing a proper test drive before.
God, I got work to do.
Yeah, this is why we're replacing this. It's only a little. What you want to do is replace it with only the most high-end parts. So you spend $4.44 on one from Rock Auto, and it's gonna be better than that one is, anyways. Part of why it was darting all over the road, doing 45 miles an hour. That right there. What you doing there, like? It's almost like you learned something from the transmission job with feeler gauges and shit.
We do it right.
Do it right. From the transmission job doing pistons and shit, replacing lip seals on those, this is the same fucking idea. So why wouldn't you just apply the same exact principle to something just smaller and it stops the car instead of makes it go? It's all the same. Fucking oil covered bullshit. I tell you put brake fluid on, right?
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, you're asking me for brake fluid earlier, so I mean, if I know, you either apply it to those or you're drinking it, one of the two. Look at this guy. Here's a guy that knows what to do with his hands, kind of. Hey, you want the right tool for the right job. Flying shit everywhere. Yeah, I got this, professional seal driver kit. I also, f***ed up on exhaust pipe, but it's fine. Put that on there and then use the channel locks, so we're doing it right. And just like that.
Yeah, rebuilt their dang old carburetor.
Dang old carburetor, caliper brake there, jobber. Muffler bearings. Alright, just do that 3 more fucking times.
Oh, yeah.
Watch the... Oh. Yeah. Don't want to damage that the car. Oh yeah, that's a beautiful piston.
Cleaner.
Did you buy that?
Yes.
Swap meet?
You did.
Oh sweet. Oh yeah.
Oh, that'll help the seal.
Oh, 100%. Clean one owner. Only leaked on Sundays. So went through, got the tie rod unchanged, no more play there. I even went through and greased the front end. Grease fitting, took grease. Gave her a good old lube job here. This guy got the caliper all rebuilt. We're putting that back together. And when you do, you definitely want to use only the finest brake pads, you know, sports car and stuff. So just reuse the old ones that are missing like half the pad. And, you know, the first heavy stop will probably dislodge the rest of the pad. But it'll be all right.
It's a nice shelf you got there. I like the...
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to be able to store stuff. I mean,
yeah, you know. That won't
you know,
be
sports car, there's not much storage. So you got to take it where you can get it. Fabrication. New day here. We took care of the other items on the vet, and I mean, you know, there's only this much brake fluid on the ground today. We're just gonna say that's from the pads being squeezed, and you know, that's the fluid coming out of the pads that the pad soaked up. It's fine.
totally fine.
Either way, that's way less fluid than you know, what it did before. But now instead, I don't know if you can see that, you just got a giant puddle from the leaking master cylinder now. But we're just gonna ignore that. That's fine. We got brakes. Enough that we can probably crimp off the rears and do some burnouts once it's turbo time. Speaking about turbo time, that's what we're working on. Well, that's what the Jew is working on. I want to work on the IP here. IP Freely.
Is Mr. Freely there? First initial is IP.
Is IP Freely here?
The Jew is working on the up pipe to the fucking spoolie boy there.
Woo!
Round and round.
Roundy round.
Yeah. Basically, it's going to get cut right about here. And then it's going to feed, you know, exhaust up to the turbo right there. And then we'll figure out downpipe later. He's working on that. I mean, that's beautiful. And then as far as boost goes, he's already made these a few weeks ago. These are for the intake. This is going to be way easier to put boost down those than the stupid fucking intake that's on it with an EGR.
Ew. Is that weed?
Yeah, what is this?
You can put your weed in there.
Is that weed? Probably. So, but either way, turbo's happening. I want to start ripping on the fucking IP here. Ike's going to have to see. Watch the equipment. Weldy Welderton. So now we're going to remove the injection pump. Really goddamn simple on these old engines. The easiest. Step one, take off the intake with 4 bolts. 2 on either side. Oh, that was even tight. Not that it really matters. Diesel. So obviously we got the injection pump. All you gotta do is take off the return line, unplug the power, take off the 6 injector lines, take off the throttle, and then it's just a matter of loosening 2 nuts down here, and you pull it right out. There's no f***ing around with the timing cover or anything. You'll see the shaft setup in this thing. Hey, why'd you shut up over there?
You shut up.
No, you shut the f*** up, Donnie.
Jesus fucking Christ! For f***'s sake, you sucker! Stick your fucking hammer! F*** you! And I'm taking these motherfucking ticket fingers!
Alright, all the fucking lines are off. You just got 2 15mm nuts and the sun just slides up. It is fucking tight.
There you go.
Yeah, lick it. Get the fuck away from me with that thing.
Would you miss a wire?
Don't you hit some off. So this is why you don't gotta worry about anything. It only goes in one way. That's it. Can't fuck it up.
Oh, I'm sure you're gonna try.
Oh, I mean, why wouldn't I? Here's what the fuck Jew came up with. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Look at those fucking
There's
welds.
a fucking hole right there. Piece of shit.
Well, hard work at the fucking pump here. Got the thing all ripped apart. So I had this guy in backwards, but I didn't. That's the advance ring. But I figured I'd show you guys how this fucking thing works. I had this pump apart once. This is the first pump I ever took apart, and I got it working because it didn't pump fuel because these plungers right here were not moving. They get varnished up, sitting, and they don't move, but get them free so they're moving, and that's how it pumps fuel. This is the governor here. This ain't falling apart, so we're gonna go ahead reassemble this thing. Pretty simple. Got a dot, focus right there. That dot down in there in that groove corresponds with that dot right there on the drive shaft. So line them up, put it all back together. So like a fucking idiot, haven't really filmed the goddamn thing. He's been busy over here touching it. I've been over here busy touching this. And yeah, had the whole pump apart a few times because I'm an idiot, but didn't really find anything wrong with it other than the timing advance right here. See that line right there? Was stuck up there. So freed all that up, got this all working. Throw on this fucking cover, put the thing back in, and yeah, cheese and beef it. And, alright, before you guys fucking say anything, yes, I'm turning up the fuel, even NA. Normally with these pumps, it's behind this cover, but being a V6, it's got this extra screw here. You open that guy up. The other way to turn up the pump, there's a hole on top. If you got the top cover off, you can turn it up through there. Just spin this guy over till you find that 5/32 Allen head fucking bolt there. Where the fuck are you? Yeah, there you are, right there. I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know, 2 or 3 fucking flats. Sure, we'll start with that. So this is what I'm talking about. Got the flat of the Allen wrench here. I'm gonna go 2 flats. That's 1 flat. That's 2 flats. See what she fucking does there. So the plot thickens. Turned off the camera and I just decided to see how many more turns I could get out of it, and believe it or not, none. Those 2 flats, that's all I can get out of this fucking thing. She is fucking tight. That'll be interesting. Well, new day, back at her here. Yesterday, got the injection pump all ripped apart, fixed a couple things with it. Didn't really see too much really fucked up with it, but we'll see if those adjustments to the Advance will actually make it right, because I think it was just full Advance all the time, which explains a lot of things. While we're in there, if you remember, maxed out the pump, all of a whole 2 flats out of the pump before it was totally maxed out, so torque the spec your fuel screw. While I was busy f***ing around with that, the Jew got the turbo mostly set up in here. Let's give you a better angle here. What we got going on here is you got, you know, the dang old output out of the manifold there, because, you know, you got stupid crossover. It goes from one manifold to the other, so you got 1 outlet. And we just brought it up to the turbo. Turbo's up in there, all nestled in. Jew's working on this piece right here to still be able to use this nice side pipe with the purple horny on it. That's for flow, 100%. That's basically what it's going to look like, except, you know, on the inside. He's going to finish that up. I'm going to finish putting the intake back together. For right now, I'm just going to put the stocker back on to get this pump all bled out and see how well it runs. And then after that, we're going to be working on the cold side of the turbo.
Clearance, Clarence.
Clearance. Don't want to burn down or nothing, you know. All right, fellas. Got the intake and the injection pump all back together. It was already pumping fuel last night. We got bleeded the injectors, or we just might bleed it with ether. Don't know yet. Got a new fuel pump on it. So hopefully this thing's gonna run good or better. We'll see. The Jew got the turbo all mounted. We don't really have oil going to it yet, or the cold side hooked up. I more or less want to see this fucking thing run before we go plumb and boost into it. I set the timing marks right back to the factory location here. Now that the timing isn't just advanced all the time, I think it's going to run a lot better. Oh yeah, the fuel screw is cranked to the max, so we'll see what happens here. Alright, well, that's bled off. You want to grab a 5/8 wrench. Well, you know what, let's just say what's an ether and see what it does. Yeah, I forgot I had those open. I forgot to tighten those down. Hey, you want to grab that 5/8 wrench? Yeah, that started real easy.
Yeah.
Dude, it smoked way less, too.
Way less.
The Advance works now. Would you look at that?
Would you look at that?
Fucking A, buddy. Yeah, there is no fucking white smoke now.
No.
It's just fucking Cheech. Thing's way happier. This thing's gonna be a fucking rocket ship now.
Oh, the lie detector determined that was a lie.
Well, early morning o'clock here, about 6 o'clock in the morning. Couldn't sleep, so, you know, decided to come drop the gas tank. If you recall, problem is I sucked everything out using the clicky-clack pump in the first episode. Then I had about 3 or 4 gallons of diesel, bled out the line, and it was still smelling like gas. I wasn't going to hook that up because I was worried about blowing up the motor because it just reeked of gas. It wasn't really diesel. So that's why I dropped the tank out. And I mean, I was worried about the inside of this fucking tank being, you know, bad. But I mean, she's got some sediment in her. A little bit of rust starting right over there. But overall, it's in really good shape, thankfully. It was replaced at some point, clearly, but doesn't mean the inside's going to be good because of all that trash gas. And there's the sending unit. Still looks clean as a whistle. Should be all right there. I'm going to squeeze my caveman hand in there, take a rag, kind of wipe her out, try to get the sediment out. Put her back in, put some new fuel hoses on. By the way, if you ever got to drop a gas tank in a C3, it's really not that hard. You got 2 strap bolts that are on this side towards the bumper, and then you got 4 3/8 bolts that go through the frame, so even if you snap them, whatever. And then up here, you remove that guy that sits around the filler, which is also the sending unit. When you do, you can get right to the lines, disconnect everything. There's a vent line over here someplace. But you can get to the lines and to the wires, disconnect everything. So really, this is one of the more simpler gas tank jobs I've ever done, believe it or not. Well then, that cleaned up pretty well. Let's put the sending unit back in, clean that guy up, and put some new hoses on there, and put the son up in there. One step closer to having a real fuel system. Just doing some things here and, you know, road legal. Chevy K20, you know, wiper motor, literally bolts right in. No modification whatsoever needed. All I had to do, because I used the K20 harness, just extended the plugs over. It works. Yeah, it's on the wiper switch too and everything. Beautiful. Clean, one owner.
This is not your standard Detroit issue. We've made a few engine modifications.
14 won't take the 12 off. Pissed me off.
No way.
It just kept spinning.
Weird. Got the fucking cold side all plumbed up. Everything's all together. Even got a boost gauge line ran. Don't worry about that, but figure we're gonna start it up NA. So in case anything in the turbo tube, because it's been in like 3 weeks since it's been open air and metal filings and galore, let it shoot out of there before we go plumbing into that. Yeah. How far does that actually go on?
Yeah, I don't, as far as you need it to.
So this gauge is now of an 80s K car. I've never used it. I've had it for about 20 years. It's totally moving some.
It's totally moving some. Let's pull the welder and see if we can pull it over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're leaking a little bit.
Alright, so that return's definitely not working. But, hey!
Yeah. Say.
Wants to do one. It's just a front brakes.
Yeah, my jack stand's not enough. A lot of oil.
Yeah, we're leaking a lot of oil.
How was the temp?
Oh, right down there. 125, 130.
Alright.
I mean, it doesn't sting the lungs like
No.
pre-ignition does.
No, it's much.
Pre-ignition, it's just, oh.
Yeah, it's much more diesel.
Mission successful other than my return lines here.
I don't think the intake's leaking. I mean, we could do an ether check.
Oh, it definitely is. Just where the gaskets are. When we first started it. No,
Okay.
I saw the EGR, where the EGR
Oh.
smoke out.
Yeah.
But it's a controlled boost leak. No.
Yeah.
I ain't gotta worry about blowing up. And it is quieter too. Turbo definitely quieter down.
Yeah, dude. A hood would definitely fit.
Yeah, yeah. Get that radiator down, the hood will fit.
Mm-hmm.
Because you gotta remember, all stock hoods had the cowl.
Yeah.
Now look here, buddy. Don't call me buddy. Pal or sweetheart.
B-roll.
Rolling calm. Oh, fuel screw, it's literally torque and spec.
Yeah.
It just turned up. Torque and spec. Got a few upgrades going on. You know, got a cooling fan now, even though it's 35 degrees right now, 40. Got a new temp gauge reading about 130, so you know, plug in the cooling fan, it won't ever overheat. Got a boost gauge out of a K car from like the 90s. Who knows if it works? And yeah, let it warm up and we're gonna go.
What do you think, Cyrus?
I got some driving to do. Here, I gotta adjust my seat here. Adjust.
NASCAR!
NASCAR.
Yeah. It's a fucking smoke show. Those tires are not pointed well. I don't think he did any alignment.
The inlet for the turbo in here is awesome. Only up to 160 degrees. I made it, according to this, almost 7 psi of boost instead of 32 psi oil pressure. Roll that beautiful bead footage. Yeah, that rear end's knocking pretty good. Yeah, choice. Like it's like tung, 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 tung. Especially when I get more on it.
Yeah, turn on the heater. It's beautiful in there. You gotta kind of still pump. Brakes are there all the time, but like 2 pumps, it gets you better. But it does dart to the left. Do a burnout. All right, some kind of side-by-side versus turbo vet. 3. Okay. Yeah, we never did an alignment on it. It's even worse now than ever, but it's okay. It's just a death machine. Don't worry about it.
Hey, it's pretty snappy.
Yeah. See what I'm talking about the turbo, dude? That thing is just loud. That is the most American thing right there, and you cannot argue that. If you are, you're communist. It's perfect. Just ow! Here you go. Hold this. I just let you know you're alive still. That's all. I mean, you just can't argue with progress with that thing. It's still got all the gears, and now it's got all the horsepower, as much as it's going to make anyways. Yeah, pull her on in.
That was pretty good. Like fizzled down. Get a speedometer in the neck.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. It felt like I was probably doing something for real.
Just turned out way better than I ever thought it could. And I mean, as far as right now, the diesel's still happy with the boost.
Another turbo. Smelling bad. It's not doing nothing bad.
I mean, it's got a lot of controlled boost leaks, so maybe that's why, but it's fine. I mean, even the old gauge is reading 7 psi, so it's all right. See, this is why I keep saying the V6 is the way more reliable version, because if you put 7 psi through a stock 350 diesel, the V8, uh-oh, they're coming after us. If you put 7 psi through the stock 350 V8 diesel without doing head studs or gaskets, you'll be blowing out the cylinder or the head gasket just instantly. So, way better design right here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there we go, fellas. We're back to 2025. That's where the footage ended. Why? Because the car's a f***ing death trap. Let me explain it to you. Well, there's a few reasons why the car is a death trap. One, the alignment is crazy off. The tires are cambered out, both sides, and the toe is like this. So the tires essentially are leaning like this and like this. It's a good time. Fighting each other. Got probably about that much contact patch on the road of the tires. Two, the tires themselves. I mean, they're just... I mean, look at this. That just screams quality, so... Don't you worry, I got plans for that. Another reason we ended was all the controlled boost leaks. Got the EGR on this side. That was leaking at that flange. I'm sure both flanges are leaking boost. And then the homemade Y pipe, or crossover pipe that I made, is definitely at least leaking on that flange off the manifold on that side, maybe even this side. So we gotta fix those. And another problem is the transmission vacuum modulator. There's a little Allen key in there. We gotta screw that in some, because I mean, by the time it reaches like 15, maybe 20 miles an hour, it's already in second. So, and that's with wide open. And we do have vacuum going to it. So we make all these adjustments, make it less of a death trap. And this thing's gonna be road legal, boys. Oh, I just have a seat in here.
Why don't you have a seat?
I haven't sat over here in in at least a year. Nice comfy seat right here. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's got gauges and stuff. You guys will see that in the next episode. But now it's come time to thank all you Patreons, all you new Patreons since like Thanksgiving, I think, or Christmas time, somewhere in there. I appreciate the out of every one of you guys. I really do. And like I said in prior videos, anything you guys contribute is being saved for a trip to Alberta to see that one-legged cripple fuck, if you know what I mean. The new Patreons here, we got Brock, Clapped Out Garbage, Sergeant Wiggles, Matt K, Brandon H. Gromley, The Rambling Man, Thomas, Kyle Brown, Braden Beckley, and Andrew Black. I appreciate the fuck out of all you guys. And I appreciate the fuck out of all you guys. Every one of you Patrons. You guys make this channel work. So it's time for me to get to work on Cyrus so you guys can have a fucking episode on the fucking payoff of this piece of shit Corvette with one of the worst diesel engines ever made. So hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, remember, don't put your hands any place you want to put your dick.